All right, hello. This video is going to cover topics relating to the music industry as like a business. Like the music, in fact, yes, it is a business, and there is money that goes in and out of the industry. However, I'm going to do a more detailed video relating to this with like a really in-depth industry analysis, where I'm going to actually look into the industry analysis of music and how like market share and stuff is coming and going between labels, between broadcast companies, and radio and stuff like that. So this is going to look at like the business of music and like the industry. All right, the music industry. And but this is just going to be a general overview of what that industry is, and what exists within that industry, and what exists external to that industry. You know, you have the world, and then you have a part of the world that's the music industry, where you have music. It also, television falls into that, radio falls into that, video games now. So we now have video games, which is like a brand new kind of aspect that is impacting music industry and stuff like that. So this is a general overview, and where the money is sitting. Again, I'm going to make a more detailed industry analysis about this when I get the data to back up my points. I'm going to have the data to show you, so you have like actual data backing it up. That says, look, like there's so much money that falls into these categories, which I've thought up to be records, from selling actual albums and selling actual records. The radio, which is like FM and AM radio that you hear in your car. You can tune in online, and like online radio, live gigs. So going out and performing in front of an audience, going on tour, going around performing like that. And video and television, getting placements in, getting your music placed in TV shows or in movies, in the credits, in cutscenes, in commercials, even getting your music placed in commercials, and also video games, which kind of ties in with video and television, but getting your music placed in video games and getting your music placed in media like that. So those are the big ones. You have physical record sales and album sales, so selling a copy of your CD or getting an iTunes download. You have live gigs, so getting paid to go out and perform to an audience, going on tour, getting ticket sale money, so money that's coming from Ticketfly, money that's coming from at the door sales at venues. And then you have radio, which airs FM, AM, and then you have television and video, commercials, movies, TV shows, and video games. So those are the big ones. I'm going to do a more in-depth overview of these with data to back up the points. But for right now, I'm going to go out there and say that I think the biggest one with the most profit for you as an artist, or for us as artists, will come from a collection of television and video, video games, and radio. And the point for that being is that there are advertisements. Okay, it used to be different. It used to be record sales, because people would want to hear the music, so they just go and buy the vinyl or like the CD. But when the internet came around, that really it really hit the music industry the hardest, I think, because you can copy a file on the internet and then spread it around for free. So the music industry has not yet adapted to the internet being in the environment, like I said. So there's external factors to this, right? Like there's the music industry, and we were in the music industry, but then there are external factors that are impacting us. And one big thing is the internet, and the fact that you can take a song file and just share it with people, so you're not getting paid for your music, really. That's a big one. So record sales are dropping like hotcakes. Like it's very hard to sell records and make money off of record sales, although it's still there. That the revenue from record sales is falling because of the internet. And live gigs, that's always the same. Live gigs is a pretty constant source of revenue stream. People are always going to go to shows. They're always going to see music. and go to concerts and go to parties and go to stuff like that, and they're going to pay at the door to get in. So you're if you play live shows, you're always going to get money from that, but it's not the highest amount. You're going to get more money from video and television and more money from radio and video game placements. Well, more from video and television and radio, because those are continuously playing and you can get ad space on them. And the ad space is really what the advertisers pay a lot to get their position on the TV show or on the radio, and then that money trickles into you as being a contributor to that show or to that radio station. So those are the big ones. And then video game sales, that's like a product that once it's sold, like they can't really sell any. Well, now they can with internet games. Like with internet games, there are updates and ads that can be placed on the game. So it's not like a package thing that you buy and it's like the product is bought and you can't. There's no more money to be made from the product. Like it's bought and it's done with. But now with like updating online games, that games that connect with the internet, they could throw in ads to those as well. So then you get money through the ads. That's a big one. So yeah, you really got to push for video, television, and radio placements for your music, and for video game stuff too as well, because that's where I think the largest amount of revenue is coming and is falling in the music industry. And you always want to make songs and you want to put music out as streams and stuff. But I recommend Spotify for that, because Spotify is one of the only ones that monetizes their streaming platform. SoundCloud, they're leaning towards getting it set up that way, but they haven't quite figured out a good monetization platform to run on SoundCloud. So it's in like a beta or alpha stage where they have like really high up artists testing it out and they're making ad money from it. But yeah, like I don't know. You have to look at the ads as like not really a bet. They're annoying when you want to hear a song and there's an ad that comes up and slaps you in the face. But you also have to look at it as an artist, saying that like that's how the artist is getting paid. That having the ad there on their song, that's like if someone the advertiser is paying to get their place on that song because say you're a hot artist, they're going to pay more to get their placement onto your content. So you gotta look at it that way too. But so that's that. And SoundCloud hasn't figured out a way to really roll out a complete wide monetization platform for their advertising on SoundCloud, although they're trying to. Spotify does it 100%. So if you can get a music distributor, you need a distribution service like DistroKid or CD Baby, to name a few, but these services basically take your music and they distribute your music for you to all the platforms like Spotify, iTunes, Google Play Store, Amazon, and all of those stores. So then your music will appear on Spotify and everything. And then now when someone plays your song on Spotify, you make a couple cents. They have an algorithm figured out that says, look, like each time, and for hotter artists or more popular artists, your money goes up. So the more popular you get, the more you're going to get as like a exponential kind of curve that comes with your music, because and your streaming. So as you know, Spotify has ads, so that's how they raise revenue, and then they use that revenue they raise to distribute the money back to the artist through streaming. So per song play that you get on Spotify, you make a couple cents from it, all right? And then if you multiply that by thousands and millions, you're making some money there. And then obviously there's placements. You can get placements on the actual TV, like TV shows and commercials. If you go to IMDb, imdb.com, I think works with the placement and the credit rolling for music and stuff for TV shows. There is a good YouTube channel. If you look up CP Productions, I think it's by Clint Productions. He talks about all of that, and he's had his music actually placed in some really popular TV shows, and he's on the NFL. So like his music plays for the NFL network whenever there's like Monday Night Football or whatever. Some of his tunes are played on those, so that's good. Yeah, I think it's CP Productions. I'll link to it in the description, but it's just Clint Quint Productions or Quint CP, something like that. So that's good. And yeah, video games too. You know, if you get your music in a video game, you get a cut of the royalty sales. So a percentage of the sales from the actual sale of the video game will go to you. And if there are ads, you can divvy up the percentages royalty wise from the revenue that comes from the video game. So I think in like the 21st century, with the internet being around and with television being around and radio, mostly the internet though, with the internet being around, I think you got to roll with Spotify as the streaming service, and you got to roll with YouTube for any video, and you have to roll with trying to get your music placed into like video games and TV shows, and also do the live gigs. But the live gigs are more for the fun party aspect, that you just go around and meet your fans and get to talk to your fans one-on-one and interact with them. So yeah, that's what's happening to the music industry. It's a general overview of it, and I'll come back with a new video that provides data points and actual information to back up those points. But for now, that's a general overview of the music industry. Sorry for the background. It was just here in OBS. But anyway, that's an overview of the music industry. Peace.